Good day to everyone. My name is John Ramos. I'm a student from the University of Puerto Rico at Maya West, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about the unique ecosystems found in Puerto Rico, the importance they have, and the use we give them. Puerto Rico has an overall all the ecosystems found, mostly all of the ecosystems found in the entire world. We have different terrestrial ecosystems as well as aquatic ecosystems. Terrestrial ecosystems, we can find forests, different types of forests, ranging from dry forest to tropical rainforest, as well as different caves, sinks, wetlands, and different mountain ranges all over the entire island. We can also find different aquatic ecosystems, as I mentioned, mainly coral reef, beaches all over the island. High up in the mountains, we can also find saltwater ecosystems as rivers, streams, and waterfalls. In Puerto Rico, we have a total of 14 forests. A total of 15 forests, in which 14 are run by the local government and one is run by the U.S. federal government. First off, let's talk about the El Yunque. El Yunque is the only tropical rainforest under the federal government jurisdiction. It is unique to the area since it is home to a wide variety of different plants and organisms. El Yunque National Rainforest is mainly used for research activity by different biologists for studying the symbiotic relationships between different plants and how organisms benefit from this plants. In this area, we can find the local parrot, the green parrot of Puerto Rico, which is an endemic animal, which is it was an endangered species back in the 1940s through the 1980s, 1990s. It was almost extinct, but thanks to different programs from the University of Puerto Rico, like in Humacao, with the help of Dr. Iris Velasquez, they started introducing parrots raised in captivity back into the wild to help the population. Before Hurricane Maria, there was a total of 43 parrots in the Yunque region, and still after the hurricane, the number stayed the same. There were no parrots killed in that region, specifically in the Yunque. All over the island, we can also find these parrots, but specifically in the Yunque, they were no harmed. In this photo, we have the Puerto Rican parrot, green parrot, on the left, and on the right, we have one of the many waterfalls found in the El Yunque, which is home to different species of fish, freshwater shrimp, which is nearly extinct or not found on the rivers of Puerto Rico due to the overfishing we had for this species. This is the other type of forest found in Puerto Rico, a few miles from the north. This is found on the driest part of the island, on the south, on Guanica. As the name states, it's the dry forest of Guanica. It is recognized by the ONU as a international reserve, subtropical dry forest reserve. And this means that this ecosystem has the minimum touch of human activity and it is stayed relative how it had it been over years. Due to the fact of the hot weather, limited plant growth is found in this region. Mainly, we can find a endemic species of cactus that it is the main source of research studies for biologists due to the fact that it is the closest relative to the primitive cactus, and that's the main reason scientists study this organism. We in this habitat we can see different adaptations for plants like succulent plants or cam type plants, which they take atmospheric carbon and they use it on night to save water when they open their stones to change the water, the gas of the atmosphere with the plant. And we can also find different adaptations as a lot of plants with needle type leaves, because needle type leaves they use less water in this area, and that's beneficial for this type of plants. Also, we can see a lot of animals, visiting animals, as are the turtles. Turtles use the beach found on this reserve as one nesting grounds, and we can also find a lot of endemic birds like the Puerto Ricensis small pigeon. And in this area, we find a lot of different ecosystems, from forests, dry forests, and as well as beaches and coral reefs. In this image, we have the beach found in Guanica, dry forest of Guanica, and here we have the oldest ceiba tree in Puerto Rico, also found in the reserve of Guanica's dry forest. We have Hobo's Bay, located between Salinas and Guayama, which is home to a lot of corals, and it's a mating ground for different animals such as sharks, dolphins, fish. And this unique area has a lot of coral reefs as well as different mangroves, home to a vast variety of birds, and also a lot of archaea microorganisms because of the thermoelectric power plant that's located there. They live in the hot vents due to the fact that they are thermophilic microorganisms, and they live better in this type of habitats. Here we have Mona Island. Mona Island, it's one of the many islands that Puerto Rico has. It's located in between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. It is home to many plants and native animals like the Mona lizard. And Mona is used for investigation by a lot of professors. One of them is Dr. Denny Fernandez, which he studies the precipitation and down there in Mona, and how different plants and animals adaptate to this lack of precipitation or rain. It also helps see how Puerto Rico, how do I explain this? Isla Mona has a lot of ecosystems like the mainland of Puerto Rico, and scientists study this island to see how related we are on the activity of precipitation climate on the mainland here in a smaller ecosystem. Here we can find different reefs, beaches, as well as caves home to endemic bats. And also, Isla de Mona, it's important for nesting grounds for migrating sea turtles. In this image, we see what it was the old structure of the Natural Resource Department, where scientists stayed when they went to do their research. On the other photo, on the middle, on top, we can see some goats. Goats were introduced to Isla de Mona as a method for control the plant growth. And to control the population of goats, we have annual hunting springs. On the top right, we can see the Mona iguana, which is endemic to Puerto Rico. It's only found in that region of Isla de Mona, and that's the main organism studied by biologists to see their population and how they behave, etc. On the lower left, we see one of the beaches which is home or nesting grounds for migrating turtles as carey, tinglar, and different other arthropods as crabs, etc. And on the lower right, we can see a diver which studies the reefs of Mona to see how the worldwide phenomenon of coral whitening is affecting the corals in this region. And that's what another investigation biologists here in Puerto Rico do, see the effect of the contamination, pollution on the waters, as also the different water temperatures, how it affects the coral whitenings here in Puerto Rico. We have La Cabeza de San Juan Reserve located in Fajardo. It is known for having the second oldest lighthouse here of Puerto Rico, as well as a lot of different micro ecosystems. We can find bays, different rivers, different beaches, as well as different ecosystems as the Bosque Seco. It is a very important archaeologist research facility, since they have found different artifacts that belong to our old primitive first populations here in Puerto Rico of Indians. We can also spot it's home to seasonal birds, which migrating birds, sorry. They come here, rest, feed, and they continue their trip on the on this natural reserve. And it's also home to a lot of prairies, grass prairies, underwater prairies, which are food for a lot of sea turtles. And it's home to the worldwide famous Bio Bay. In this images, we can find on the top left, we can see the bay, which is home to many microorganisms, especially known as bioflagellates, which are microorganisms that when they metabolize their food, they release an enzyme that, as an effect or as a result, it releases a fluorescent emission like we see in the photos, which gives it in this type of coloration. Scientists study these organisms to see how they work on metabolizing different foods, and also they're endangered due to the fact of marine diesel being thrown out, or the emissions of boats. This is one of the few islands or few places in the whole world with these types of microorganisms. On the top, we have the second oldest lighthouse, and on the bottom, we have one of the beaches that it homes to many prairies that served as food for different turtles, migrating turtles. In conclusion, Puerto Rico has a lot of unique and distinguished worldwide ecosystems that need to be preserved due to the fact that they're home to many endemic and endangered species of animals that inhabit these places, as well as they're very important for Puerto Rico's people, for its precipitation, and also for its economy, since it's an international importance, and it brings tourists to visit our ecosystems. All the information was taken from the Natural Resource Department, as well as from different professors, so Dr. Danny Fernandez, Dr. Is Velasquez, and Dr. Joaquin Alonso. Thank you for your